What's going on, people? Make sure y'all go to RomeIsABeast channel on YouTube, subscribe, and also make sure you go and follow him on Instagram as well. He's doing fitness videos and also post on IG, so make sure y'all go and follow him. What is going on, people? It's Jaye Black here. Another video. Salute to everybody that's tuning in. I want to talk about Telvin Smith. He's a linebacker for the Jacksonville Jaguars. And he's one of their best defensive players. The guy's been very consistent for the last 5 years. And apparently he's walking away from football for the 2019-2020 season. Now, this could go from 1 year to being longer, depending on how messy the situation gets. Because he did not inform the Jaguars that he was not going to be playing. Now, he signed in 2017. He signed a 4-year, $45 million extension in 2017. Because, he's one of their better players. You know, they have a lot of good players on defense on that team. He's been the standout, okay? And something is going on with him. I don't know if it's something mental. I don't know if it's something going on with his family, but if there are issues there, yes, he needs to address those and deal with those. But I think that this could be something more mental, okay? I actually did a video about Telvin Smith a couple years back. I actually have it on one of my smaller channels. And he went in on someone who, I guess he went in on NFL players who run NFL camps, and I guess they charge money and he doesn't. It was a very, I wouldn't say odd, but the rant was odd because you're calling out fellow football players for running camps that, you know what I'm saying, that they probably had to pay people to help them run. They didn't do it by themselves. You know, so there's certain people you're going to have to pay, you know, especially when you want to book certain areas. You know what I'm saying? If you're at a public facility, you got to book that. You can't just be in there for free. You know, then you're going to have equipment and probably going to have, you know, T-shirts made for the kids there. You know, be that as it may. Let's go into the article from the Washington Post, okay? It says Jacksonville Jaguars linebacker Telvin Smith announced Thursday that he needed to take time away from the game to get his world in order. He didn't offer a specific reason for his apparent hiatus, leaving it a mystery to Jaguars fans and apparently to the team itself. In a statement released shortly after the 5-year veteran reportedly made his announcement on his private Instagram account, the Jaguars said, "We will not have a comment about Telvin Smith's statement at this time. We needed to have a conversation with Telvin to understand the situation and circumstances." Come on, man. Y'all, what is this? Like, seriously, Telvin, this to me shows a lack of maturity. Because a good way for a team not to pay you, bro, is for you to go AWOL. It's for you to just leave. You know? Now, I don't know, because the way these contracts are set up, these teams can withhold money just off the basis of you pulling this particular, I'm not going to say stunt, but pulling this move. Now, I could see if it was you was part of a business that you ran and you also worked and you decide to take time off and you just say, you know what, it's for me. You let them know, like let everybody else know. When you sign a contract, especially when you signed your second contract, your extension, the team is relying on you to be a leader. They're relying on you to, you know, be able to be accountable, because there's going to be young players that are going to look up to you, Telvin. Now, what's interesting is that they did draft a linebacker. The Jaguars did, I believe, in the 3rd round. Now, when you hear that they did not know that he was leaving, they had some inkling, which is probably why they drafted a linebacker, but they probably did not think he would go through with it. You know, that's why communication is very important. You have to have communication, especially with one of your team leaders. If there is a way we can support him, we need to understand that. Now you see, that is the statement there from Telvin Smith. Someone screenshotted and put it on Twitter. I even reposted this on Twitter because his Instagram is private. And because his Instagram is private, you can't really see what's going on his page. Okay. Assuming Smith doesn't play the season, he'll be walking away from $9.75 million in base salary, part of a 4-year, $45 million contract extension he signed during the 2017 season when he made the Pro Bowl. If he winds up never playing football again, Jacksonville could seek to recoup several $1 million in signing bonus money per reports. This is why communication is very important, man. It reminds me of the situation with David Irving from the Dallas Cowboys. You know, this is a guy who basically quit football because he wanted to smoke weed. Like, forget his kids, like forget his family, forget the people that rely on him. He wants to get his weed fixed. So he's willing to leave money on the table. Unbelievable. Smith indicated that he might be back by 2020, writing an announcement. I just ask y'all respect my decision not to play football this season. The 28-year-old began his message by saying, it was said to me from a great coach that in order for the man to be his best, he must get his world in order. At this time, I must take time away from the game and get my world in order. I must give this time back to myself, my family, and my health, which is all good. I am all for these guys getting their mental health in order, because this seems like what it is. Now, again, he may have an issue with his family, but that's the issue with your family that you can address without having you quit the team for a year, you know. But I think this has probably more to do with mental health. And listen, if you're having issues with your mental health, you definitely need to get that taken care of. I'm not saying that you shouldn't. You should definitely get your mental health situation straightened out, because you don't want to be on the field and not be all there, you know. Okay, now this is a tweet breaking down what he has done for the Jaguars. This is according to Warren Sharp, one of only 13 players in NFL history to record 100 plus tackles in each of their first 5 seasons. Also the only player with at least 100 tackles, 2 interceptions, and 1 fumble recovery in each of the last 3 seasons. Only 15 other players have done that in even one of the last 3 seasons. And this is from Adam Schefter. This was actually the tweet that I retweeted on my Twitter page. Make sure y'all follow me on Twitter. Smith added, I know the rumors of trade talk came about, but I started my career in Jacksonville, and the day I do decide to call it quits, it will be here in Jacksonville. He was referring to rumors that surfaced before April's draft that Smith might be dealt for picks. Again, they ended up drafting a linebacker. Now, I don't know what's going on. Telvin Smith is 28, but he still can fly around and play. And also he's from that area. Like he played Florida. He played at Florida State. So he's a Florida guy, you know. And I think that when the rumors started, I think he was really hurt by that. This is why communication is key. I'm not saying that they have to tell them of every move they make. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is when you hear that you're going to be traded, you know, that does something to you, especially when you feel like you've given your all. But I think what was going on is that maybe they were preparing for the future. You know, you're 28 years old, and you all know how the NFL feels about players once they reach 30, even though you have players who are playing longer into their 30s. But still, some teams still want to draft just in case. You know? Speculation about the linebacker's future with the team was hardly doused after Jacksonville general manager David Caldwell was asked during the draft if Smith would be on the roster in 2019. We'll see, Caldwell say, I don't want to get into hypotheticals. So this definitely, I could see him being hurt by this. This is why a lot of players honestly have no loyalty when it comes to signing contracts. They will allow their agents to choose where they play. they're going to play for the most money because they a lot of these teams really don't have any loyalty to their players. It's very rare that teams do. That's why as a player, you do have to look out for yourself. But once again, people, he signed a contract. He's going to be paid $9 million in the upcoming season. He was paid a signing bonus. And if he doesn't play next season, the team is going to want a portion of that signing bonus back. So what I would say is this: as long as you follow the parameters of your contract and handle your business, they can't take nothing from you. But when you decide not to play, they can take money from you. I think that's what's different in these particular situations, you know. The GM's comments came just after he spent a third-round pick on a relatively unheralded linebacker prospect, Murray State's Quincy Williams. In March, the Jaguars signed former Green Bay Packers linebacker Jake Ryan, a move that was followed by Smith declining to show up for voluntary team workouts. So this could all, you know, could be a situation where he thinks that they're looking to replace him, you know, even though he's one of their better defensive players. He could feel that they're trying to replace him. You know, you got the GM saying we don't know them in the roster. We don't see. Once again, that's the, you know, NFL teams really, you know, just not respecting their players. And why this is also why Jacksonville is probably where they are, even though they went and signed a you know, massively, you know, may have overpaid for the quarterback they got, but you know, hey, that's the market because they're Jacksonville, you know. A week after those training sessions began and several days after the draft kicked off, the Jaguars coach Doug Marrone told reporters that Smith still hadn't responded to his calls and text messages. He's probably busy, Marrone said at the time. To judge from Thursday's statement, the Jaguars still have not heard directly from Smith, who was named as a team captain last season. Smith finally broke his silence on Monday in a way with comments on Instagram Live in which he said, "This week, y'all gonna know what's going on. It's been out there. It just ain't been out. It just ain't been out there. I've been saying what's up. Understand this. I never left Duval. I'm never leaving Duval," Smith continued, referring to Jacksonville County, which is Duval County, the name of which is frequently used as a rallying cry by the Jaguars and their fans. "It's Duval till we die. You understand me? Y'all seen trade rumors and stuff. Y'all seen me go anywhere? Exactly. Y'all seen the rumors go somewhere, but y'all ain't seen me go nowhere because I ain't going nowhere." This is from, I guess, his IG Live. A native of Georgia, Smith played in college at Florida State. As a senior, he was the leading tackler for the Seminoles unit that led the nation in scoring, defense, and interceptions. After testing positive for marijuana at the 2014 NFL Scouting Combine, he fell to the 5th round of the draft, at which point he more than lived up to the Jaguars' hopes that they had gotten a steal. And he was. He basically, I would definitely say he has overachieved, but he's a talented player. People would consider him oversized, consider him undersized. Even, you know, he's 6'3", I believe he's about 220. But I think this all boils down to communication, and when the communication ain't there, you're gonna see situations where a player feels like a team is mistreating him, and he wants people to see what's going on. I think he felt like people was ignoring the fact that he felt like he was being mistreated, and I think that him, you know, basically saying he's gonna sit out the season is because I believe he wanted people to see what was going on in Jacksonville. But y'all let me know what you think in the comment section below, and let me know your thoughts on this topic.